Have you ever stopped to think about the weight that carries the word mother? Not the burden of burden, but on purpose. Mother is not just the one who generates. It is the one who forms character, plants eternal values, sustains tears, and sometimes silent when no one else sees. And the most impressive, Ellen White wrote such profound words about the mission of motherhood that you may never have heard before. Today, let's talk about it. And if you are a mother, you know one or have been marked by one, stay with me until the end, because what we will reveal here will touch your heart. Now, let me ask you one thing. Have you been overwhelmed with the responsibility of educating a child? Have you ever wondered if you are doing enough? If you already cried in the room trying to be strong for everyone, know that you are not alone. Ellen White, in the 19th century, already recognized that. She called the motherhood the most sacred and important mission on earth. It's no wonder the future of a generation can be decided inside a toy room or in a conversation before bed, and that it's too powerful to be ignored. We live in a time when being a mother is almost synonymous with guilt. Either you work too much and feel absent, or stay at home and feel you need to prove that you are doing something useful. But Ellen White was clear in stating that the mother's position in the formation of character is superior to any king over the throne. Look at that. Can you imagine the sky valuing a mother more than a king? And yet, how many times does society make these women feel small? Now, it tells me, do you believe that being a mother is a heavenly mission? Write there in the comments. I really want to know what you think. And before we continue, do the following. Share this video with a mother you admire. It may be your mother, a friend, a sister. Because what we will bring here next are excerpts that reveal how much the sky looks at maternity with reverence. And who knows, this message is not the answer she needs to hear today. Perhaps what is most missing today for many mothers is precisely that, recognition. Not the one who appears in awards, likes, or clapping, but the recognition of his own soul, to know that what you do, even if no one sees, has eternal value. Ellen White wrote something that marked me deeply. The influence of the mother on her children is powerful and lasting. Her smile, her approval, her guidance words leave impressions that time and circumstances will hardly erase. That changes everything, doesn't it change? When a mother teaches a child to pray, to hear the voice of God, to respect, to forgive, she is building more than a good citizen. She is helping heaven to shape a remaining future. Ellen White goes further by saying that the mother's work, often done in silence without human recognition, is recorded in heaven with honor and glory. This is too strong, because society may even ignore, but heaven does not forget, and that needs to be said aloud. Did you know that according to her, the home is the first mission field? Yes, it is indoors that the most essential work of all begins. And you know what else? The welfare of society, the success of the church, the prosperity of the nation depend on the influence of the mother. Think about it. The future of the world can be decided in the heart of a child who learns with the mother what is faith, what is justice, what is true love. And this role, however invisible, is of an almost prophetic impact. And here is a very important point. Motherhood does not always come easy. Sometimes it is born in the midst of pain, insecurity, emotional and spiritual challenges. There are mothers who are fighting guilty, others with fear, some with the pain of a son who turned away from God. And for these, Ellen White left words of comfort. She wrote that the mother's prayers do not cease to accompany her children even when they move away from the way. Often these prayers are like invisible ropes that pull them back to the Lord. What beautiful hope is this? So if you are listening to this and your son or daughter has moved away from faith, don't be discouraged. Keep praying. Keep loving it, because these seeds, even if they seem to be buried today, can still flourish in God's time. And this is a promise that heaven makes a point of fulfilling. Now, for you who think that you failed, that you didn't realize, that you have lost control, you hear it with love. Ellen White did not just write for perfect women. She wrote to real mothers with errors, with limitations, with imperfect stories. And she also said, "The mother who faithfully fulfills her duty with humility and dependence on God will be regarded as worthy of honor even if the world does not know her." This shows that a mother's victory is not perfect, is in delivery. And yes, the motherhood also tires, and a lot. There are days when you feel sucked without strength, without identity, and at these times, it is easy to forget that there is a greater purpose. But Ellen White points out that the mother who consecrates her life to the spiritual orientation of her children will be strengthened by the Spirit of God. The Lord gives wisdom to those seeking Him in prayer. The force does not come from you, comes from it. You are not alone on this mission. If you got here, I want to make a request. Stop now for a few seconds and think of a mother who needs to hear that. Someone who is tired, discredited, or just needing a hug. Send this content to her. Sometimes God uses exactly a message like this to rekindle hope. And now let me tell you something that may you. Ellen White, even though she is a prophetess, a writer, and a leader, never failed to value her mission as a mother. She knew that no other ministry replaced the role of forming children to heaven. She raised her children under prayer, faced losses, challenges, and yet wrote that the influence of a Christian mother lasts for generations. This is not theory. It is experience. She lived what she taught. And perhaps this is the greatest lesson that motherhood teaches. It is in everyday life, in small decisions, in repeated gestures that a legacy is built. It doesn't have to be grand in the eyes of the world. You just need to be faithful in the sight of God. You may be teaching to brush your teeth, tidy up the bed, do the lesson, and in the midst of it, you are teaching patience, responsibility, respect. With each no, with love, you are teaching limits. With each tender correction, you are showing justice. With each hug given after a mistake, you are revealing grace. This is a practical gospel, lived on the floor of the living room or on the edge of the bed. And to close this reflection, I want to leave an image in your mind. Imagine that one day in heaven, an angel approaches you and say, "Do you remember that night you prayed alone, tired, crying? That prayer was heard. That attitude is different here today because of your faith. This is real. This is possible. This is motherhood seen from heaven." If this content spoke to you, write there in the comments. My mission is eternal. And if you know a mother who needs to hear it, share it now. Because while the world tries to minimize motherhood, we will remember heaven values it as sacred. To be a mother in heaven is not just to create, is to cooperate with God in the formation of lives for eternity. Ellen White has made it clear that motherhood is a divine mission, silent, but full of power. May you, mother, never forget what you do. Even if no one's C is registered in heaven, keep firm. Your love, your faith, and your delivery are building something that goes beyond this life. Thank you so much for staying here. Every minute of your attention is valuable, and knowing that this message has reached you already, make it worth it. May God strengthen you in this sacred mission. If this content spoke to your heart, enjoy, share, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, leave your comment below because I really want to know what you felt. Until next time.